Hi, Steve Jackson again. All the way in the north of Europe. Looking out the window here, it's looking pretty grey. But nevertheless, let's get on with this presentation. This presentation, how to be successful in your doTERRA business, is really a deeper subject than just about the practical side of uh, running your doTERRA business. This is about the mindset that you need to be a doTERRA consultant. Um, So let's push the page open. There we go. Um, if I just take you through the process, how I personally have become and the way business um, in a really a straight way. I just kind of work on it every day. I don't think about anything else regarding doTERRA apart from how I'm going to build my business and how I'm going to get to my goals eventually. But I realized in the early stages that I needed to know the target market I was looking for. It's pointless trying to sell essential oils to car mechanics uh, because they just don't really want them. So you need to know who you're selling to. And the reality with doTERRA, 90% are women, 10% are men. There's not so that's one target you're looking at is a female audience. And after that, it's people who are interested in improving their wellness, improving their lifestyle, improving their general well-being. And once you understand that, then you know where you're targeting your audience. Um, it's not always the people you think they are. Some people who want to have a better lifestyle or better wellness in their life are not always the people you think they are. So you still need to be reaching out to people you may not think would want your product or your ideology or your concept. But nevertheless, it's good to narrow it down to the sort of people you think will need it. So you must understand your audience. You must understand who they are, and you must be in touch with their needs. You must be offering them something in your business that will make them interested in you and your products, essential oils. Um, you must know what drives them. You must understand what makes their lifestyle what it is. And once you're knowing these people, and then what you can do then is satisfy their life and help them maybe be successful in network marketing or doTERRA or just by buying the product. Also, another element I found it was very important to me, and it's very personal for me, and I think this is probably the main thing that's kept my business going, um, is understanding my why. Why am I doing it? Why did I join a doTERRA Essential? Why didn't I join another company? Um, in some ways, it could have been any other company because I don't think your why should be just the company you've joined. The why should be deeper than that. It should be something which is you really want to get out of this, um, because that will be the major force which will keep your business going. Um, so I said to myself, why did I want to become a doTERRA wellness advocate? Well, many years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, um, me and my wife had been talking about moving to another country, and then we were talking about, well, how will we finance it and how will we get there? And it took me a few years to realize that I needed something which was flexible, something which I could take anywhere with me, something I could move around the world with. And when I'd looked at network marketing in the past, uh, I found that it was something I could use, but I was looking for a specific company, and doTERRA really ticked all the boxes for me. But in your case, as a new or a mature doTERRA consultant, you need to be thinking what your why is. Now, it could be your family, could be financial freedom, could be uh, time freedom, it could be anything. But whatever it is, you need to pin it down, and you need to set them goals towards that, starting with short-term goals. So if you make $100 or 100 euros, whatever that may be, you need to make that important to you. You need to maybe buy something, or you need to commit that to some project for yourself. And once you've done that, you'll realize that that motivation will start to reappear in your business. So make sure you understand the why, uh, because and like I said, write it down, make everyone know what your why is, and then you will move forward with your business. Um, One element of the business, and I know probably the education in doTERRA probably says the opposite, but family and friends may not be interested. It's a reality. They've heard about your businesses before, maybe, and so it becomes one of them things that can create problems in personal relationships with family and friends. So, in my opinion, don't chase family down for your business or even your product. Sometimes it's best just to kind of leave the family until you have more experience. Um, so you can keep like this good relationship going on with them, and in the end, they will ask, how's the business going? How's the essential business going? Um, and also they will see how you grow as a person. They'll see how you develop, and how well they will see maybe you've got a little bit extra money, and they'll start to ask the question, why have you got some extra money? Um, so when the time is right, then you maybe discuss the essential oils or the business or whatever you feel is appropriate in that situation. Another element I have found in this business is when I started doTERRA, I found I was trying to do too much too fast, and for a while you kind of overwhelmed yourself with too much information. But I found that if you keep your goal when it comes to the practical side of the business of marketing, try to keep it to small goals, and try and complete them goals and be good at doing that specific task, and then move on to the next one, rather than trying to do lots and lots of tasks and then becoming confused and lost where you are in the business and where you are in the marketing plan. Or, um, for me, I've been doing it for quite a few years, and so I've got lots of these little plans going at all at the same time. And over time, yes, people can do that, but at the start, you should keep them plans to small plans. Don't try and rush yourself, because you'll just get completely lost and disillusioned with the business. But also, any business opportunity, including doTERRA, is about a learning curve, of rising your business from a small level, and then you learn as you go along, learning new skills and new motivations to get you to a different level. Um, but if you persist and you keep on moving the business forward, success will come. This is how it works, because nobody can learn everything straight away. Um, the thing is that most of the successful network marketers are doing and learning from their success, so they're doing it all the time, um, and so they become just fantastic at what they do, because it's like any business. Like if you at first day at work as a computer programmer, and you've never done computer programming before, you you need to learn the skill when you need to go to university. But fortunately, with network marketing and doTERRA, you can learn as you go along. You don't need um, this education first, and that's a positive message from network marketing. But so if you encounter some sort of roadblock along the way, you need to just keep moving forward. Contact your upline, and they will help you out through them uh, bad days, because they will happen. They've happened to me, and they happen to everybody in this business. So never stop educating yourself. You must put in time to work on yourself daily, learning new things, finding out stuff online about how to develop your business and network marketing. That's how I done it in the past, and that's how I will do it in the future. I'm always looking for new ideas of how to run this business, because the reality is the top doTERRA leaders and earners are always learning, um, and I am no different to that. I am always trying to learn something new. Um, so keep a daily ritual of self-improvement, so you're always looking to improve your abilities in, for example, essential oil knowledge, business knowledge, doTERRA knowledge in general. So when someone asks you a question about doTERRA or essential oils, you've got the question in your back pocket, the answer in your back pocket, so you already know what you're talking about. So you do that, as I mentioned in another video, uh, an honest expert, a person who knows. Also, I suggest um, read success books. Big Al is a good one. Tony Robbins is another guy you should be always listening to. The man is a genius. Um, Also, research on the internet for, say, for example, social media strategies. Also, network marketing tips. Always look for that sort of stuff. There's always some fantastic and innovative ideas out there which should be used on a daily basis in your business. So just moving on, you must, and people who tell me, and I have had several consultants who've got into this business refusing to use social media. Now, I don't like to tell them, but they will fail. Uh, Internet, not including social media in your daily business activities, is just saying to yourself, I don't really want to be successful. Giving me the argument of I don't want everyone to know who I am. I don't. It's a conspiracy theory, I know, but you really have to get over that. You must be available on social media. It's as simple as that. It's the difference between failure and success. That's basically the difference. If your doTERRA business does not have a social media presence, um, your success is limited. Areas to look at: yes, all the social media platforms, from LinkedIn, Twitter, Google Plus, um, whatever you feels good for you. Personally, use all of them. Facebook group is great because you can. It's a good place to find people with the same values and interests as you, and that is the place to share good, really good content. I know putting photos or images on your in the groups is a good idea, but content is better. People are still reading, and people still like to read about new ideas in essential oils or wellness or health, as well as network marketing and doTERRA itself. So use social media to develop your business and create that warm prospect. So if anyone wants to join your group, you create you put them into as a warm prospect that you can get back to in the future. So somehow get their email address, their name, and then you've got them for the next, well, at least for the next year, and you pass information to them slowly about your business and essential oils, etc. Another part of the business which I think is super important, super important, is stay consistent. Stay consistent. Keep the same thing going. If it's working, keep it going. It's a big problem for many consultants, as they do a bit and then they don't do a bit. They do a bit of this, a bit of that, and they're not really being consistent with their business. So create a plan, write it down as a to-do list, and remain consistent. Keep it going. You must, when you take action within your business, within that action there needs to be elements of that business, elements of that action which will create results. There always will be. Without this, there's going to be failure. So be consistent and push forward. And even if you see no results at the start, because all of us have, when I started doTERRA in the early days, there was a time I was picking up a few leads here and a few leads there, but I wasn't really moving forward very fast. Now I'm consistently taking 20 to 30 members a month on a regular basis, and so I'm happy with the results I've done. This is a nice video from a lady from the States. Can't think of her name now, but she does come through a very nice idea of the idea of consistency and what you should be doing.
Most of us struggle with being more consistent in some part of our lives, and it's really worth working on because the rewards of being consistent are huge. So that being said, here are 5 secrets to help you be more consistently consistent. Number 1 is keep your eye on your why. In order to really stay connected to what you're doing over the long haul, you have to have a clear, compelling vision for what you're trying to achieve and know why you want to do it. So for example, it's a lot easier to keep saving consistently if you're saving for something important to you, like your first house or a once-in-a-lifetime trip. You know, when I think about Marie TV, this is a big commitment and we're in our 5th season, and it's not easy to keep doing this week after week. But I am committed because I'm clear on my why. This show is really the soul of my brand, and it's the primary way that I get to make a difference to as many people as possible around the world, and that's really important to me. So that's my why, and it is always in my eye. Number 2 is pick your battle. Now notice, I didn't say battles, I said battle. So I want you to pick one thing and just stick with that. The reason why is that we human beings have limited capacity when it comes to willpower and discipline. In fact, studies show that doctors recommend you do not try to do something like quit smoking and quit sugar at the same time, or you're going to fail at both. And I tend to agree. So pick one thing, and once you really make that a habit and you win that battle, then you can add on something else. Number 3 is schedule it. The late Stephen Covey said this, and it is a major, major secret to consistency. Don't prioritize your schedule, schedule your priorities. So this subtle distinction is so important. When you're trying to make something consistent in your life, you want to really build your whole life around it rather than trying to fit it in. You know, when it comes to Marie TV, the reason that this gets done so consistently is that we schedule it and we build our entire year around it. So everybody who works on Marie TV, we have these dates for the year. They are sacred, they're non-negotiable, and this is gonna happen come hell or high water. Hey, it's Marie Forleo. You're watching Marie TV, the place to be to create a business and life you love. Today's Q&A Tuesday. Keep rolling. Number 4 is ignore your feelings. Now, this is probably the only time you're going to ever hear me say this, but when it comes to developing consistency, it's pretty darn important to ignore the voice in your head that says, "Wah, I don't feel like it." I mean, anytime you're trying to be consistent at something worthwhile, like working out or meditating or painting or whatever, it's guaranteed you're going to hear that voice. "Wah, I don't feel like it." I mean, I hear that voice all the time. There are some days, as much as I love what I do, I don't feel like going to work. I don't don't feel like doing much of anything. But I've trained myself to override that whole voice in my head because I know the power of consistency. Now, if you've been consistent with something for a long time, or you're just clear that whatever you're up to, you're just done with it, that is fine. You can totally pay attention to your feelings, close that chapter, and move on. However, if you're still trying to develop consistency and the deeper part of you knows you really do want to keep going, please, for the love of all things holy, ignore your feelings. You can tell them, bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Number 5 is catch that wagon. So don't have an all or nothing mindset. Don't think that if you miss one day meditating or you miss one workout that you're a total failure.
Okay, I think it's a great little video that is. But the next stage, it's another thing. Obviously, as you may have known, if I've been in the business this long, I never quitted. I didn't quit, and I probably won't quit. Well, I definitely won't quit now. Um, and because the only reason you will fail in this doTERRA business is by quitting. That is the only reason why. Success, the successful doTERRA consultants at one time or another have said to themselves, God, I cannot do this anymore, and I think I need to quit this business. And my wife will confirm this. I have said it a few times in the early days, but fortunately, I am so stubborn that I decided that I am going to do this, and I am going to make money from this, whatever. Um, and so, hell and high water is, yeah, an element of this business. You need to say to yourself, I am going to do this, whatever. Um, but the reality is, the doTERRA business, to be successful, does take time, like any business does. You just need to, again, be consistent and never quit. I would suggest if you don't see any development in 12 months, then okay, maybe you got an argument. But I think in 12 months, if you work the business, you will have that sense that we are moving forward and we are going to be successful. Also, for someone to want to join your business, we talk about recruiting and sponsoring somebody. Providing value to your prospects is a massive importance. People don't join businesses. They don't, for example, yeah, there is some people looking for doTERRA as a business opportunity, but in the end of the day, they are joining you as a person. So you need to offer them that X factor which says, um, you are a person that will help me build my business and and show me how the oils work and give me the experience I need to be successful. So building trust with your prospects is of vital importance, and providing that value-based information is also a top priority. Um, so, as time goes on, you'll learn that these are the things which keep people in your business and create that retention rate which you're looking for people to consistently buy the product, consistently join the business, consistently come back for more. So providing worthwhile information, being a mentor in some ways, and creating that magnetivity for people to come and find you rather than you hunting down people is also the main aspect of being a doTERRA consultant. Um, so really you need to be giving the prospect um, more than they expect. I know that sounds odd, but you want to over deliver, I think is the right word. And then you'll notice a difference in your business. So we have a little recap. This is for me, this is the set of personal mantras I use on a daily basis. and that comes from the first day I joined doTERRA to up to now. As you take action, and that action is whatever that action may be for that day of creating a post for Facebook, or contacting a soft lead who may be interested in joining doTERRA, or buying the products, then setting goals for yourself. So you want to say, so what is your goal? So my goal is to maybe enroll a new consultant, and then set a plan of how you're going to do that, how you intend to do that. And then finally, you work on that every day. So you go back to the start of creating action, and consistently going through these four mantras until success. Also, if we look on the bigger picture of doTERRA, you're taking action is becoming a doTERRA consultant. That is your action. And then you set goals. You say to yourself, where do I want to be in 3 months? Where do I want to be in 6 months? Where do I want to be in a year? And then you set a plan down to how you're going to achieve them goals. How is that going to be possible? And then every day you work on that plan until you've achieved the goal. That is the mantra you should be looking at when you become a doTERRA consultant. And it seems simple, but it is simple, and that's how you need to do it. And it doesn't matter how you run your business, if you're running it online, or you're talking to people with, in the street, or whatever you're doing, or running classes. Again, you go back to this set of rules: take action, set goals, make a plan, work on it daily. But this is all about habits. Now, I'm hoping that my consultants will go through this process with me. So the habits that you create allow you to have freedom and success into your life. Now, what this means is that I want you to write down and place your goals in the Facebook group, regardless which one it is, because we've got a few Facebook groups. And for example, tell us what your daily tasks are. Tell us what your daily achievements are. Tell us some new things you've learned, even, and tell us how you've helped someone to achieve new ranks. All of these things can be put on your Facebook group, so then you own them. You own these goals and achievements and tasks. And so because learning, training, instructing, practicing means success. That's how it works. Anyway, thank you for listening. For my consultants, please get back to me if you have any questions, and then and if you want to have a one-on-one, I'm quite happy to talk to you about it later. But I hope you enjoyed that, and hope you've learned something from this experience. Maybe I'll see you next time. All right, thank you very much. Bye.